Uh-huh.
Uh,
You are getting an
I,
error.
yeah. So I was installing all the steps, but I didn't find that one, that file, config file. After that, I can't do anything because in my version there is no config file. There are lots of other files, but there is no config file, and not all that what you are your that
Mm-hmm.
you are showing.
Okay. Uh, which version you downloaded?
I have downloaded 2.8.1.
2.8.1. Okay. Uh, After that, you unzip, right?
Yeah, I have followed all the steps. There is no problem with the step. The only
Mm-hmm.
problem is that I was try to finding that config file and I didn't able to find that.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay. Uh, uh,
I want to tell you like the files which are in my version is building.txt, Dave
yes, yes.
support, Hadoop assemblies, Hadoop build tools, Hadoop client, list, common projects, and lots of other.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no config file. There is
Okay,
also another
after,
one, start
uh-huh,
build environment.sh.
uh-huh. Okay, after extracting that Hadoop file,
Mm-hmm.
in that directory, could you find any directory called etc like that?
Which one?
etc directory, etc.
etc. No,
Yeah, there is no etc directory.
no.
Hmm. etc Hadoop. Actually, in Studatex Hadoop, we can find the directory etc Hadoop. After extracting inside the Hadoop directory, there is one more directory called etc. In that etc we can find a Hadoop directory, and in that Hadoop we got the configuration files actually in 2.6 version.
No, but
Okay.
should I
Okay.
provide you screenshot of my?
Yeah, you have TeamViewer?
No, I don't have
You don't have?
TeamViewer. I need to install it.
Okay, okay. No problem. We'll see after completion of the class, okay? Na?
Okay, but I was not able to practice any of the command and whatever we have covered
Oh,
yesterday.
okay.
For installation
So,
only, I can do that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, no problem. We will, after completion of the class, we'll see that one, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, today, we'll discuss about MapReduce architecture. Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody, uh, so, yeah. Uh, Yesterday, we discussed HDFS comments, right? So, HDFS, it is used for data storage, right?
Right.
Uh, yeah. So, yesterday, we discussed how to write the data into HDFS and how to read the data from HDFS, right? And how HDFS stores the data, or when we will put some data into HDFS, what happen, which daemons will take care of that storage part, and what name node will do, what HDFS will do, and what second name node will do. Everything we'll discuss, right? Today, we'll discuss about MapReduce architecture. So we know MapReduce, it is a parallel processing framework. Okay, basically it is a framework used for data analysis. Okay, used for data analysis. And basically MapReduce, it is a programming language. Okay, if you want to run the MapReduce jobs, you have to write the MapReduce code by using any programming languages like Core Java and C++ and Ruby, Python. You can use any programming languages, okay? But Core Java is more flexible for writing the MapReduce code and running the MapReduce jobs. Okay, why? Because whatever the methods we have in Java, okay, the MapReduce also having same types of methods. Okay, that is the reason the Core Java is more flexible for MapReduce. Most of the organizations actually using Core Java only for writing the MapReduce. Okay, so actually whenever we will run the MapReduce job, the MapReduce job will be execute into different phases like mapper phase, combiner phase, shuffling sort phase, partitioner phase, and reducer phase. Okay, so these are the 5 different phases, okay, in MapReduce. Whenever you will execute a MapReduce job, the MapReduce job will execute in these 5 different phases. Okay, mapper phase, combiner phase, shift and sort phase, partitioner phase, and reducer phase. Okay, so basically MapReduce is a parallel processing framework. Okay, parallel processing means whenever submit the job on Hadoop cluster, the MapReduce, it will execute the job on all the slave machines parallelly. Okay, based on input data, where the input data is available on slave machines. Okay, based on that information, the MapReduce, it will execute the job into all slave machines parallelly. Then the job will be execute on different slaves. Okay, at the same time, the job will be execute fast, right? At the time of running the MapReduce job, the MapReduce will execute these phases one by one. Okay, so we'll discuss what is mapper phase, combiner phase, shift and sort phase, partitioner phase, and reducer phase. Okay, I'll draw the diagram MapReduce architecture too. Yeah. If you see this diagram, okay, this is the HDFS, okay, and the HDFS, inside HDFS we have 4 blocks, B1, B2, B3, B4, okay, and these are the input splits, and these are the mappers. We have 4 mappers, mapper 1, mapper 2, mapper 3, mapper 4, shuffle and sort, okay, and this is reducer, and again finally HDFS. So yeah, actually we'll discuss. There are total 5 phases: mapper phase, combiner phase, shuffle and sort phase, partition phase, reducer phase. Okay, but we'll discuss about this combiner and partitioner later. Okay, well, because these are the actually optional. Optional means there are running combiner and partitioner that is useful for MapReduce job, means it will fast up the execution, but in which situations we have to use the combiner and partitioner, we'll discuss about it later. Okay, now we'll discuss about mapper, shuffle and sort, reducer. Okay, yeah, so whenever you will run the MapReduce job, the MapReduce, it will execute the mappers and execute the reducers. Okay, mappers and reducers. So we already know if we want to process any data by using MapReduce, you have to put your input data in HDFS. Okay, yeah, now in HDFS we have some data like B1, B2, B3, B4, total 4 blocks we have, right? So whenever after writing the MapReduce code, whenever you will submit the MapReduce job, okay, the MapReduce job will receive by job tracker, right? And job tracker contacts the name node and takes input data information. So it means whatever the input path, okay, we mentioned in our code, based on that input path, okay, it will contact the name node and take the input data information. Why? Because name node only knows in cluster where the data is available, right? So job tracker contacts the name node and take the it will take input data information, and based on that information, the job tracker will submit the MapReduce code into that particular slave missions, right? So here we have total in HDFS we have 4 blocks. Okay, B1, B2, B3, for example, exist in different slave missions. Okay, B1 in one slave, B2 in second slave, B3 in third slave, B4 in fourth slave. Okay, 4 different slaves contain 4 blocks. So whenever you job tracker submit the MapReduce job, okay, first whatever the blocks available in HDFS, all blocks will split into input splits. Okay, input splits. So what is input split? You know, the input split, it is just a reference for the block. Okay, for B1 this input split, for B2 this input split, for B3 this input split, B4 this input split. Okay, these input splits are the just reference for the block, and you know the input split size is equal to block size. Okay, input split size equal to block size. Actually in Apache distribution the default block size is 64 MB, right? So here the input split size also equal to block size. If suppose here we have 4 blocks, 64, 64, 64, 64, then the input split size also equal to 64 MB only. Okay, but here if we want to modify, means if you want to do any change for input split size, we can do that. Okay, by default input split size equal to block size, but if you want to change the input split size, we can change by using 2 configurations. Okay, the configurations are maprate dot max dot split dot size. Okay, and another one is maprate dot min dot split dot size. So these are the 2 important configurations. By using these 2 configuration files, okay, by using these 2, properties, we can change the input split size. Okay, so this is the map.max.split size. This is the property used for if you want to set the input split size greater than block size. Okay, at that time you can use this property map.max.split size. And if you want to set your block size, sorry, if you want to set your split size less than block size, then you can use this property. Okay, so here by default input block size equal to split size equal to block size. If suppose my blocks, I configured my split size is 128 MB. Okay, I configured by using this property. Okay, okay, using that property, I configured my split size is 128 MB, but our block size is 64 MB. So at that time, what happened? So whenever you will run the map reduce job, okay, block size is 64, split size is 128 MB. At that time, two blocks will goes to one split. Okay, two blocks will split as a one split. Okay, at the time B1, B2 split as a one split, and B3, B4 split as a another split. Right? If suppose your block size is 64 and split size is 32 MB. Okay, split size is 32 MB. At that time, what happened? One block will split as a two input splits. Okay, but we didn't set any property like max size or min size. By default, it will take 64, which is equal to block size only, right? So whenever you will submit the map reduce job, whatever the blocks are available in HDFS, all blocks will split as input splits, right? And each and every block having its input split. Okay, these input splits are the just reference for the block. Okay, just reference for the each and every block. Then after splitting the input splits, now it will start. The job tracker will execute the first phase of the map reduce job. So the first phase of the map reduce job is mappers. Okay, it will execute the mappers. So here we have four input splits, right? So for each and every input split, it is having its own mapper. Okay, for this first input split, mapper 1, second input split, mapper 2, mapper 3, mapper 4, like that. Okay, if we have 1 lakh of input splits at that time, it will generate 1 lakh of mappers. Okay, why? Because in HDFS, based on number of blocks or number of input splits, okay, it will generate that number of mappers. Okay, it will generate that number of mappers. So actually, first mapper is the first phase of the map reduce job. At the time of execution, it will execute the mappers first. Okay, actually map reduce is a parallel processing, right? So it will execute the map reduce job on different missions. At the time of executing, it will execute first mappers. Okay, once mappers will complete, then it will execute reducers on different missions, slave missions, right? Now 4 mappers are running on different missions, different slave missions. Okay, why? Because we have 4 blocks, B1, B2, B3, B4. So 4 blocks exist in different slaves, right? So whenever execute the mappers execute on different slave missions. In first mission, mapper 1 is executing, second mission, mapper 2 executing, third mission, mapper 3 executing, fourth mission, mapper 4 is executing, right? So here each and every mapper read the input data as a key value pair from input split. Okay, each and every mapper will read the input data from input split in the form of key value pairs. So key value pair means just a second. Like this. So each and every mapper read the input data in the form of key value pairs. So key value pair means, for example, I have input data like ID, name, 100, that is the name. So whenever you will give this input to, okay, whenever you are doing MapReduce job on this data, at that time mapper read the input data in the form of key value pairs. So for example, in place of key it will take this ID, and in place of name it will take name. Okay, in place of value it will take name. So like this, from each and every input split, okay, the mapper reads the input data in the form of key value pairs. After that, the mapper do some analysis based on mapper code. Okay, and one more point here, at the time of writing the MapReduce code, we will write the MapReduce code for mapper and reducer. Okay, we write the MapReduce code for mapper and reducer. No need to write the code for shuffle and sort, combiner, partition, all these things. Okay, we write only code for mapper and reducer. So in mapper code, we'll write what mapper will do. Okay, what type of operations we have to perform in mapper phase. That related code will write into mapper code, and in reducer code, what type of operations we have to perform. Okay, and what type of results we want to get. Okay, based on our requirement, we'll write that related Java code into reducer code. Okay, we'll discuss about it later. Yeah. So now mapper, each and every mapper read the input data in the form of key value pairs, and mapper will do some analysis. Okay, based on mapper code, it will do some analysis and it will generate some results in the form of again key value pairs only. Each and every mapper generate the results in the form of key value pair only again. Okay, key value pairs. So after completion of all the mappers, okay, all the mappers, and whatever the outputs generated by the mappers, okay, the outputs we will call as intermediate results. Okay, why? Because these results are not final outputs, final results. They are just intermediate results. So after completion of all mappers, all mapper outputs will copy to next phase, that is shuffle. Okay, all mapper outputs will copy to shuffle phase. So in shuffle means what? Like merging. So whatever the outputs are coming from mappers, the mapper outputs will be going to merge in shuffle phase. Okay, for example, my mapper output is like this. Name. Okay, for example, I have location. Okay, and employee name. Take some name. Employee name HYD A, and Bangalore B. Okay, some names. Again HYD C. Yeah, so this is the mapper output. Okay, we are having a location name and some name. Okay, any name. Yeah, now each and every mapper generates some results like this. These are the some values in the form of key. This is the key and this is the value. So after completion of the mappers, the mapper outputs will copy to shuffle and sort phase. In shuffle phase, first it will execute the shuffle phase. In shuffle, what happen? You know, all mapper outputs will merge based on key. Okay, based on duplicate key. For example, see here, this is the key and this is the value. So in place of key here, we have HYD. Okay, and it will check same key is available in this output or not. And again, here we have HYD, right? So in shuffle phase, it will merge like this. HYD having how many times it have? 2 times. 1 comma 1. It merged like this. Okay, HYD 1 comma 1. So this is the key, and this is the list of values. So after merging the shuffle phase, shuffle, it will generate the output in the form of key and list of values. Okay, so this is the key. HYD is the key, and 1 comma 1. These are the list of values. Okay, that is the one record. And next, Bangalore having only one time. So like this.
Srinivas, it's not clear to me. Why 2 times 1?
Yeah, actually, our requirement is, for example, we have to find out how many customers from Hyderabad, how many customers from Bangalore, how many customers from Pune. We want to find out like that. For example, that is our requirement. Okay. Now, this is the mapper output. Okay. This is the HYD, is the location name, and this is the customer name. Bangalore is the location. This is customer name. Okay, like this. So this output copy to shuffle phase. In shuffle phase, what happen? The shuffle, it will merge the mapper outputs based on keys. Okay, based on keys means.
So there
here,
are 2 Hyderabad entries.
yes, 2 Hyderabad entries, right? So here HYD is that. Here HYD we have, and here also one more HYD. Okay, duplicate keys means location is same, and we want to group the customers based on location wise, right? So HYD is the location, and it grouped that customers. How many customers? 2 customers, right? 1 comma 1. 1 is the customer. Okay, this is one
Okay,
customer.
so instead of writing 2, we are writing 112 because of 2 customer. And
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Instead of names, I write 1 1. Okay.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
expecting 2.
Okay. Yeah. So that will be happening in the next phase. Yeah. And next, Pune. Pune also having 2 customers, DD and FF. So 1 comma list of values. 1 comma 1. Okay. And Chennai having only one customer. So just a second. So yeah, now this is the output generated by shuffle. Okay, then the shuffle output is in the form of key and list of values. So this is the key, and these are the list of values. Okay, after completion of the shuffle phase, now uh, it will copy to sort. Sort means it will just sorted the output based on like alphabetical order. Based on using key, we'll do the sort alphabetical order. Here we have HYD something like, right? So it will do alphabetical order means first this record, then Chennai. like this. So the output will start like this based on like alphabetical order, right? Now after completion of this shuffle and sort phase, okay, so actually here mappers will run different missions, okay, based on where the input data is, where the blocks are available on slave missions, okay. In that missions mappers will run in different missions, but here after completion of the mappers, all mappers will copy to shuffle phase, right? And the shuffle phase will execute in any one of the mission, not into all missions, okay? All mappers will all mapper outputs will copy to any one of the mission. In that mission only the shuffle phase will execute, okay, but that will take care by MapReduce framework, okay. For this we didn't configure anything, no need to configure anything, okay. Now that will the shuffle phase will execute any one of the slave mission that will be decided by job tracker, right? Then after completion of the shuffle and sort phase, the shuffle and sort phase generate the output in the form of key and list of values. Now that output will copy to the final phase of the MapReduce job, that is the reducer, okay. And reducer is the final phase of the MapReduce job, and the reducer read the input data from shuffle phase. From shuffle to the input data, whatever the output generated by the shuffle and sort, that output will copy to reducer. So the output in the form of key and list of values, right? Key and list of values. That output will copy to reducer, and that is the input for reducer. Whatever the output generated by the shuffle and sort phase, that is the input for the reducer. Now the reducer read this output from shuffle, and it will generate the final output. So our requirement is what here? How many customers from each and every city, okay. Now this output copy to reducer, and in reducer code, actually we write two types of codes, mapper code, reducer code. In reducer code we already wrote some code, what type, based on our requirement, what type of operation have to perform, we wrote that code in reducer. So where it will read this input data, and the reducer generate the final output, okay. The final output like this, the whatever the output generated by the reducer, the final output is from Bangalore 1 customer, from Chennai 1 customer, from Hyderabad 2 customers. Now 1 plus 1, it will do the sum, 1 plus 1 2, and from Pune 1 plus 1 2 customers. So the output is like that, that was generated by reducer, okay. So whatever the output generated by the reducer, the output again in the form of key value pair only, okay. The output is in the form of key value pairs, okay. Like see here, yeah, this is the key and this is the value, this is the key, this is the value, and HYD 2. So HYD is the key, 2 is the value. So the reducer do this type of operations, okay, based on requirement. Whatever the code we wrote in reducer, okay, that code will executed by reducer only, okay. Okay, and here after completion of the reducer, the final output again write into HDFS only in the form of, it will generate one output file like part-r-000. So this is the partition file generated by the reducer. So here we get some output, right? This output, right? This output will store into HDFS in part-r-000 file. That is the output file, final output file. Okay. So this will happen when we'll run the MapReduce job. Okay. When you will run the MapReduce job, the job tracker submit the MapReduce job into slave missions, right? When at the time when job tracker submit the job, okay, the job tracker first execute the mappers on different slaves. Once mappers will complete, all mappers will copy to the shuffle phase, okay. Then after shuffling, the output will copy to reducer, then it will execute the reducer, and whatever the output generated by the reducer, the final output it will store into again HDFS in the form of partition files, like, right? So here we have only one reducer, right? But we have only, here we have, to see here we have multiple mappers, Why, you know, in MapReduce framework, okay, MapReduce framework, it will run by default only one reducer. Okay, by default it will run only one reducer. But if we want to run the multiple reducers, we can run. Okay, if we want to run the multiple reducers at the time of running the job, we can run. Okay, there is a one property called MapRed set MapRed dot reducer dot num. Okay, I will show that one. Okay, and equal mention your number. If suppose you mention 3, then it will run 3 reducers. If you mention 4, it will run 4 reducers. But by default, it will run only 1 reducer. Okay, and but better to run the multiple reducers when we will work on huge amount of the data sets. Okay, why? Because for suppose we are working on 10 GB data. Okay, 10 GB input data. So 10 GB input data means it will split into multiple blocks. Okay, for example, 100 blocks we have. Okay, 100 blocks means 100 mappers will be going to run by default. Okay, here, but we can't control the mappers here. By default, mappers will run based on number of blocks or number of input splits. If we have 100 blocks, then obviously 100 mappers will be going to run. If you have 1 lakh of blocks, by default 1 lakh mappers will be going to run. Okay, so if suppose we have 100 blocks, after completion of the it will run 100 mappers. All 100 mappers output will copy to single reducer. If you have only one reducer, obviously all 100 mapper outputs will copy to single reducer. So at that time, what happened? Single reducer can't handle that much of huge data. Obviously, the job will be going to slow. Why? Because only one reducer is running, right? For executions will take time taking process. Okay, so and sometimes single reducer can't handle that much of huge data. Okay, it is overloaded, overburdened. At the time, the reducer simply down or killed. So that is the reason better to run the multiple reducers when we are working on huge data sets. Okay, so I will show with you how to run the multiple reducers at the time of where we have to set that where we have to write that configuration, right? Set the multiple reducers configuration. Okay, I will show with you when we will start the practicals. Okay, I will show with you. Okay.
Srinivas, I have one question. I have one confusion here. So yeah. HDFS is nothing but the 3 name node, data name node, and secondary name node. So they yes. have the blocks, and they will go to a slave machine. So mappers are the mapper is a part of MapReduce. So are yes. they a machine, or are they process, or are they a part of a slave machines? I'm not clear.
Yeah. Mappers are the not missions. Mappers are the phases. Mapper is a phase actually.
It Whenever is a phase actually performed by whom?
Performed by task trackers. In each and every slave mission, we have task tracker, right?
Right.
Yeah. So actually, job tracker will submit the MapReduce job. So MapReduce job means first it will execute mappers on different slaves. So whenever submit the MapReduce job on slave missions, who will execute? Task trackers, right?
Right.
So first at the time of running the MapReduce job tracker first execute the mappers. So on slave missions. So slave missions means each and every slave we have one task tracker. So that mappers will execute by task trackers.
Oh, the slave machines, na?
Yes. In slave missions we have task tracker, right?
Yeah. Now clear.
Yeah.
So, and shuffle and sort and reducer, these can be performed by any of the slave machine as decided by the task tracker. Job tracker.
Job tracker. Yeah. Any one of the slave machine that will happen. Okay. So here obviously based on number of blocks, that number of mappers will run, but by default only one reducer will run in MapReduce architecture. Okay, but we can set the number of reducers. If you want to run the multiple reducers, we can set that one. Okay, at the time of practicals, we'll see that clearly how to set the number of multiple reducers and how it will generate. And one more point here. Here we have only single reducer, then output is in the form of only single file, part-r-00. If suppose here you have one more reducer, two reducers, at that time output also in the form of two files and one more file like this part-1 r-00001 like this. If you have one more third reducer, the output is like part-1 r-00002. So based on number of reducers, that number of outputs will generate into HDFS. Okay. And here, at the time of writing the map reduce code, we'll write the map reduce code for mappers. We'll write the map reduce code for mapper and reducer. No need to write the code for shuffle and sort. This shuffle and sort will run by default. Okay, it will run automatically. That will take care by map reduce framework. Okay, take care by job track. Okay, this is map reduce architecture. Clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, and there are two more phases we have. Okay, combiner and partitioner. So we'll discuss that one, when combiner will run and when partitioner will run. So actually combiner will run after completion of the mappers and partitioner will run before reducer. Okay, before running the reducer, partitioner will run. We'll discuss about it later. Okay, what is combiner and what is partitioner and in which situations we have to run the combiner and we have to run the partitioner. We'll discuss clearly. And these two are the important, very important, very important. Combiner and partitioner, important for interviews purpose. Okay, yeah. And here, after completion of the mappers, all mapper outputs. Okay, before copy to shuffle, all mapper outputs stores into some particular location. Okay, so here reducer output is after completion of the reducer output stores into HDFS. Okay, but after completion of the mappers, mapper output not stores into HDFS. Okay, why? Because these mapper outputs are not final outputs. These are the just intermediate outputs, right? If suppose these mapper outputs will stores into HDFS, what happen in whenever whatever the data will put into HDFS, okay, we have the replication. All data will be going to replicate, right? If you if after completion of the mappers, if mapper output will stores into HDFS, again mapper outputs will be replicated into multiple times. Okay, there is no use of right at that time cluster size will be going to waste. So that is the reason the mapper outputs will store into local directory. Okay, in Linux file system, the mapper outputs will store into in some particular directory. The directory called it as temp directory. Okay, so all mapper outputs will store into local directory. The directory name called temp. Okay, so once mappers completed, then all mapper outputs will copy to shuffle and sort base. Once copying will complete, then the results automatically deleted in temp directory. Okay, once the copy is completed from temp directory to shuffle, then whatever the results mapper results in temp directory, the results will be going to delete automatically. Okay, yeah. So here, and we discussed two important properties, right? Maprate.max.split.size and maprate.min.split.size. So using first property, we can set the split size greater than block size, and using second property, we can set the block size split size less than the block size. Okay, so where we have to configure these properties, right? After installing Hadoop, there is a conf directory. In that conf directory, we have mapped-side.xml file, right? Okay, we have this file. In this file, XML file only, we configure job tracker and task tracker. Okay, services. In this file only, we will set these two properties: mapped-max.split.size, and this is the property name. Okay, this is the property name, and you can give the value like, if you want to set it is 124, give like this 124 MB. This is the value. So based on that property, at the time of running the job, it will split. Okay. Yeah. Uh, Mukta, could you share that one on your cluster? We'll see that one.
What? Which one?
Screenshot whatever the Hadoop you installed.
I have TeamViewer also. If
You have?
yeah, I have just installed while we are.
Okay, that's better. Just a second. Yeah, could you tell the ID?
This one is an ID.
Okay, just.
You need a password also?
Yeah, it will ask password also. Just a second.
Five. Sorry.
I think in GoToMeeting also you can share the screen.
Yeah, by becoming a presenter.
Yeah, can make you present.
So should I do that one?
Yeah, I can make you presenter. You can share the screen. Okay.
Okay.
फिनिश कब बन जाएगा कब बन जाएगा मैं खा रहा हूँ
So can you see my screen?
Yes, I'm able to see.
So this one is a VM and
okay.
this.
Okay, you got like this, right? Hadoop HDFS. Can you open Hadoop-hdfs-project?
Which one? This
In
Hadoop.
Second column, first one. HDFS hyphen. Yeah, enter. ls. Hadoop HDFS. Can you open that in second line, first one? Hadoop-hdfs.
Hadoop hyphen. This one?
Yes. Enter.
It's not working. I have pressed enter, but it's not working. I don't know.
Stuck or something.
It's not opening.
Clear that one, I think. There, otherwise.
It's get hanged. I can not do it.
Okay. Wait some time.
Mom.
Everything get hanged.
What is the RAM size? Your system.
I'm not sure. I need to check it.
Okay, if you have more, means you have more RAM in like 8 GB or something, you can specify to 3-4 GB to your cluster. Then it will work fast.
Okay. But it got hanged.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a message.
Okay. Press Control C.
Control C.
Yes.
They write again.
Type ls now. ls only. Can you open source? Can you go to source directory?
Okay.
Just a second.
And it requires and sometimes hanging sticker.
Mukta, you install source file, right? Source file or bin file?
I have installed both. But first I have tried source, then I have tried bin also. Bin is on the desktop also. So this one is a source which we are using.
Okay. So here, whatever the showing in desktop, that is bin file, right?
Yeah, I can show you that one.
You tried with that one also?
Yeah, this one which we are using is a source file.
Yeah.
This one is source, and I will show you the bin. Binance doesn't have lots of.
Can you open that one?
Yeah. So this is a source, and other one is a bin normal.
Yeah.
So I am using this one.
Yeah, will you go to that bin file, bin directory? Means Hadoop 2 Python.
Which one? Normal Hadoop
This-
2.8.1.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, it has very few files only.
You can open that one. Yeah, here we have etc, right? Can you go to etc directly? CD etc. Yeah, go to Hadoop.
Correct.
Yeah, here we have, right? Yeah, actually that is my mistake only. Sorry, we have to use the bin file, not source file. Yesterday I told
And I
source
have
file.
tried that one also because, but I see that yeah.
Yeah.
For
But in 2.x it is different. 2.x we have to we can find all the files in etc directory. Okay, na?
okay. So
Yeah,
now
you
we
can
got
use
it.
you can use this one and delete that source file. Okay.
Okay. So I want to delete with you because I was trying to RMR and they said this command doesn't find.
Yeah, type go back, go user local directory. Yeah, type rm space, give that source file name.
This one, no?
Yes.
This message come. It's a directory.
Easy directory. Okay. rm
RMR
hyphen r. You can use rm hyphen r.
hyphen R. This one?
Yeah, give space in between rm hyphen. Yeah, now enter. Yes. Yes. Otherwise, do one thing. Press Control C.
Control C.
Yeah, I click on this roots home. Desktop, you have one directory root home, right?
Right.
Can you open that?
My cursor is where? So, my cursor is not going.
Okay, now done.
And now it's working now.
Mm. You can, if you have more RAM, you can increase your RAM size. Okay, that's better.
Okay. So now again I have to set like how I can increase now home size.
Yeah, here we have settings option. Click on applications. Application, not application. Here VM is right on top.
Yeah.
Click on VM.
I can write and I will try afterwards in application. Yeah.
No, not application. VM. On top we have file, edit, view, VM tabs, right? Yeah, VM settings. Last one. Yeah, here memory is showing right side.
Yeah.
You can increase here. But I think you have only 3 GB RAM in your vision.
Okay.
You can specify 2. And at the time of closing the cluster, you can shut down. Okay, don't suspend. Okay, then
Okay.
if you
So
suspend,
this
you
one
are
is sufficient.
920. Oh yeah, okay, no problem. 2048, 2 GB. Okay. And Monday onwards, one more lady will join with you, okay, na? From Monday onwards.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually,
So,
today I will discuss. I will set up. I will discuss with that for cluster setup that well. Okay, and tomorrow. Actually, today I will take more some long session for that well, and I will complete up to what are the topics covered with. Okay, and Monday onwards I will match both.
now what I need to do?
Yeah, roots home. Not working.
It's not. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay. I think that is problem with the RAM.
So I can write it down and I will do it afterwards. So in root homes, what I need to do?
In root home, you can find the directory user local, right? You have that files in user local only, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you go to the directory and directly select that file and press
Okay.
shift delete.
It's a normal delete, like Windows kind of.
Yeah, you can select and press the delete button.
Okay, okay. I will do that.
Okay.
And then I will set up. So what
Yeah,
about the
you can.
tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow no class.
Okay. So it
And
will be on
again,
Monday?
yeah, and Monday same time, 9:30 p.m. or 9 p.m. IST. Okay, 9:30 p.m. Monday.
Okay.
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 Yeah. So up to now, you can set up the cluster and you can do the practice. And I will share the documents, MapReduce documents also. You can go to the documents. And okay, if you will get any errors at the time of installing, you will put me mail. Okay.
Okay. So I was just looking about the syllabus. Like we have covered what is Hadoop, what is this, why Hadoop and its use cases.
Mm-hmm.
What is
Yeah.
this about use cases?
Yeah, why Hadoop means we discussed, right? So nowadays the data size increasing fast and generating most of the data unstructured format. The existing system not usable for handling huge amount of the data and suitable for handling storing unstructured format of the data, right? So that is the reason Hadoop came into the picture, and Hadoop is used for handling the huge amount of the data sets, like the data in the form of terabytes or petabytes, whatever
So
it may
use
be.
cases means its uses, or use cases means
Yeah, use cases means in which cases means which cases we have to use the Hadoop means when we have the big data, when we have the huge amount of the data sets, when we have the unstructured format of the data, okay, and in that cases only we can use the Hadoop, right? That's the only.
and Hadoop is good for and Hadoop is not good for.
Yeah, Hadoop is good for storing and processing huge amount of the data sets, and Hadoop is not good for means if suppose you have 1 GB data, if you want to process this 1 GB data in Hadoop cluster, okay, that is not a good thing, right? Hadoop
No,
means
for
use
small data which is not good for.
for small data set, Hadoop is not suitable. Means no need to run the Hadoop job.
Okay, significance of HDFS is in Hadoop features this as clear data
Yeah.
storage, introduction about blocks. Is this a same block? No,
Yeah,
we are,
blocks we discussed, right? 64 MB and how the replication stores into different, that thing only.
okay. And this is yesterday we did it CLI and admin commands are which one? We did yesterday CLI.
Yes, same only, same. Admin command not different. CLI and admin command. Actually, that is wrong thing. Hadoop CLI only. You can remove that admin commands.
Okay, and how to store various type of data in HDFS using CLI command?
Yeah, various type of data sets means yesterday we stored the text files, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, various types of data, different types of data sets like semi-structural format, CSV format, and XML format of files. Different files of file formats. That's it.
So how what we have to do in this topic? We didn't discuss this one. We discussed this one yesterday, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
didn't discuss this these two, and
Yeah, yeah, with
these are
Java
safe
based
mode
approach.
concept.
Yes,
These
yes,
three
safe
topics
mode.
are still.
Yeah, safe mode also I will discuss with you. Yeah, so Java based approach is, I'll discuss, sorry, actually I forgot. We'll discuss that example also, but we have to install that Eclipse. So when we will start the MapReduce practicals, okay, at that time I'll discuss with you Java based approach also, how we can put the, how we can create the directories, how we can write the data into HDFS, how we can read the data from HDFS by using Java code. I'll discuss with you when we'll start the MapReduce practicals. Okay.
Okay, so these three will be discussed afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
This how to store them is write the data. Different types of data sets means different data sets means yesterday we put a text file. Different data sets means what? CSV files, XML files, PDF files, different files. That is, you can also do that, right? You can take different types of data sets. You can put the data into HDFS. That's it.
I have no idea. Like I need to learn it from you. How you can take
Yeah,
I
sure,
need
sure.
to.
Okay,
Either you
okay,
can
no problem.
give an assignment or any document so that I can practice this, but I have no idea how I can.
Yeah.
What is
Okay,
this?
otherwise, at the time of MapReduce practicals, we'll take different data sets and we'll discuss it. I'll discuss it. Okay, na? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, safe mode means, yeah, we'll discuss it. Discuss now.
Okay. So should I stop sharing?
Yeah. Okay, you can try that one. If you get any error, you can put your mail. Okay.
Okay.
Stop what?
Yeah. So safe mode. Yeah. If we have the cluster now, and we have 5 different daemons.
I
Name
can't
node.
see your screen.
Just a second, I'll share. Now, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So after setting the cluster, okay, we have total 5 daemons like name node, data node, job tracker, task tracker, and the secondary name node, right? So if suppose you are not using your cluster, okay, you are not running any jobs on that cluster, you install and keep like that, you are not in any jobs. At that time, what happen, the name node will automatically goes to safe mode. Okay, if name node is in safe mode, okay, you can't do the any operations on cluster, you can't put the data into HDFS, and you can't run MapReduce jobs also. Why? Because name node is in safe mode. Okay, so if safe mode is on, name node will not work. Okay, so if you want to put the data into cluster, if you want to run the jobs, you have to off the safe mode. Okay, how you can stop the safe mode means we have some admin commands like Hadoop name safe Hadoop DFS admin hyphen safe mode off. You have to run this command. You have to execute this command whenever safe mode is in on condition. Okay, so whenever you will execute this command, name node will be goes to out of safe mode, means the safe mode will going to off. Then we can do the any type of operations, like we can put the data into HDFS and we can run the MapReduce jobs. You can run any jobs. Okay, but if safe mode is in on condition, okay, if safe mode is in on, for example, now I'll try to put some data into HDFS, like I'm running this command Hadoop fs -put a.txt. Okay, so when I try to put this file into HDFS, when safe mode is on, at that time immediately I get a error message, name node is in safe mode. We get this error message. Then we have to run this command. When name node is in safe mode, we have to run this command dfs admin hyphen safe mode off. Okay, then we'll get the message safe mode is off. Then you can run this command Hadoop dfs hyphen put. You can do any operations. Then it will be work. So that means when name node will goes to safe mode, whenever will not use the cluster. Okay, continuously up to 3-4 days, when we'll not use the cluster, then name node automatically goes to safe mode. Okay, in real time also, most of the cases will get this type of errors, like the name node is in safe mode. Okay, this is the command. Note down this command, important command. DFS admin -safe mode off. You have to perform this. You have to execute this command. That is the safe mode concept. Okay. Clear, Mukta?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Today we stop here, and next class on Monday at 9:30 p.m. IST. Okay, no?
Yeah. Okay. So by
Yeah.
that time I will try the commands, and if I having
Yes,
some
sure.
trouble, then I can discuss it with
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah,
could you
sure.
send me the commands for admin also, because
Which command?
admin commands also.
Hadoop admin commands.
Hadoop shell commands, you have shared it with me, but I don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
any admin commands.
Yeah, Mukta, actually the admin commands also means the same commands only, but I wrote something mistake there. Admin commands means Hadoop CLI commands only. There is no difference. Okay.
Okay.
But, that content I mentioned wrongly. Okay.
Okay. Actually, I'm working according to the syllabus, because I have no idea what I have to do
Yes,
here. But
yes. Yeah, that's
so I
correct.
just want to make sure that whatever is written, I know about that. It means I'm with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
pace.
Yeah, actually I prepared that content 4 years back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and recently added some new topics on that one. I didn't never check that tip.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Srinivas.
Yeah.
And if I
Okay.
have any trouble in setting up, I can send an email and then you can get back to me, because I
Yeah,
think
sure,
now it's
sure.
going. It should go fine, because I was not
Yeah.
able to.
No problem, no problem. You can, if you will get any error, you can share the screenshot through mail and you can put a mail.
Okay. Thank you,
I will
Srinivas.
respond. I will respond. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will share the MapReduce documents also. You go to that MapReduce documents. Okay, na?
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Mukta. Good night.
Good night.